Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to WrestleSlam special. That wasn't the best welcome, but here, look, it's done and dusted. I am Matt. I am back on hosting, which means this can go one way or another. I am joined by the other two of the three amigos, which is none other than the man himself, Jerry. I think I'm pointing in the wrong direction. And the man behind the camera and the man behind and front of the camera, Phil Conley. Boys, how are ye, even though we saw each other yesterday?
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Bit loose after that gym session, Matt.
Yeah. We went to the gym yesterday. Good bonding experience. Loose. My legs are at me because I couldn't skip leg day, unfortunately. So I can't flex, but just imagine my calves are on fire. Phil, how about yourself, boy?
All good. Like I always come off the treadmill like I'm floating, which I love. I love that feeling. I love
Yeah.
it.
I think that's the benefit of like doing a workout. Is like if you're doing something that kind of sucks, but when you finish it, you feel so good, you've done it and all that kind of way.
Yeah, and then a nice relax in the pool and all good.
Good. And of course the steam room. You say that. That's out loud.
The steam was nice.
It does help. I love the one in the Aquadome with the minty one, the mint.
Well, when you actually, funny you said that. So you left the steam room, and then I was in there. I went back in, and then Matt followed me in. There was this guy that brought that lemon scent smell. So he spread the lemon,
Yeah.
and Matt was right next to it. So just say the machine's here. Matt was there, and I was across from Matt, and the guy went next to me, and the lemons kicked off. Matt was like that.
Yeah, I was actually ready to like fall asleep in the actual steam room, lads. That's how relaxing it
Yeah.
was. Like
Will you fell asleep in the Jeep?
I did fall asleep in the Jeep. I think I was like thinking, I was like, God, am I able to drive at this point in my life? Like, but anyway, that's a sign of a good workout. Anyway, but let's chat. Let's catch up via wrestling. Have you all catch up on a bit of wrestling this week?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's been a good week.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, lads. This news will lighten up everyone's day because we're about to lighten up. That's the best we got, but it's official. AJ has returned. Kind of a no surprise, to be honest. As soon as we talked about this last week. As soon as Becky got involved with Seth and CM Punk's rivalry, we kind of knew it was like, you have a feeling that AJ will be coming back. The many fan posters, the many pitches, it is now officially happening. AJ is back in the ring.
Yeah.
I felt like a 17-year-old again, if that makes sense. And like because I'm like, oh, I met her up in Dublin. Now look at her, she's going all far and all that. Lads, what do you thought about AJ coming back? AJ Lee.
Yeah, it was it's a long time coming. She's one of them superstars that's come back and looked much better than she did when she left, and that's telling you how crazy I'm talking, because when she left, she was elite. She's coming back now and she's super elite. She's obviously looked after herself. She came back with a huge pop. And I'm delighted she's back. I think this storyline it's good. You know, the fact that the whole Becky Seth Rollins thing, Punk and AJ. I've got a sneaky feeling that somewhere down this road we're going to see CM Punk beat Seth Rollins for that belt. But what does it mean for AJ Lee coming back? You know, I know she signed the contract. I've seen the video with her and Triple H. Do I think she's a champion in due course? I do. I think she's back, and I think she's going to be back for a while. I think we could see a nice little run, providing that CM Punk behaves and doesn't go off on one and such and such. But I really think they're both in a good place right now, and I think that AJ is going to come back. She's going to be involved quite a bit, and yeah, I think she's going to beat Becky. Very soon. I think that match. I don't know if they fight say at the next pay per view. I'd say it could be the pay per view after where we'll see AJ beat Becky.
Yeah, because we remember that when AJ left, AJ Lee, the women's division was a completely different place. It was the Divas division in like. Gonna be honest, we can all admit this now. AJ was carrying that division, but now when she's gone, the moment she was gone, the more the things got involving, that we actually got more. We took women's wrestling seriously. It's actually been main events of WrestleMania. So now introducing AJ, the possibilities are endless. I can see her actually winning the Intercontinental title. Actually, at
Yeah,
least that
Mm.
was the first title, and then she'll go over to the women's title, I think.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just so class to see AJ coming back. The fans, even the younger fans, know who she is. She left an impact in WWE, especially with CM Punk not being around, and that's kind of like been a question following CM Punk. Like, are we gonna see AJ? He didn't say yes or no, but a possibility. But seeing her back in the ring is just so class. I feel like.
yeah.
Well, what about you?
And I think she did sign a multiple-year contract, from what I believe. So she's sticking, she's sticking around for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
the only thing that kind of bugged me, and then that's just me nitpicking, and I didn't like how Becky Lynch reacted, because does she not have eyes or ears? Can she not know? Can she not read the internet, knowing she's? It's almost like she thought she'd never ever come back, but it was all over
yeah,
the internet and it was all over everywhere. Like,
Mm.
it just kind of like I portray it like, you remember years ago with Triple H, and then Mick Foley he was supposed to fight Mankind, and he's like, Mankind can't fight you, and he's like, oh, I think you know the guy, and he takes off the t-shirt and his cactus.
Mm.
yeah,
That was a great moment, but like, logically it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know, it's just me nitpicking at little things like that. But
Mm.
I
yeah.
do think this opens the door for people like Paige to return, and one or two others.
Yeah, I feel like that maybe with Becky's reaction, like maybe it would be just like a massive tease. Like
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be like kind of like I know I'm going off the deep end. CM Punk when he was in AEW, when he was announced, they just announced him straight away at the opening of the show. I feel like
yeah,
they could have done that. It was a good build up, but maybe if Becky would have said, "What, you're gonna bring your wife?" We all know we've been hearing all the fans, we've been hearing everyone, they're not gonna happen. And then she'll actually come back, and Becky's reaction will be more like, "Oh my God, she actually did came back."
yeah.
Everything else like that.
But do you
Yeah,
reckon this opens the door though to Paige coming back?
I say it can open the door. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say she'll come back as Paige, maybe as Soraya, maybe because she embraced that side in AEW more. But yeah, it's kind of like it'd be a good moment with her and AJ coming back because AJ was Paige's first proper rivalry in WWE.
Yeah, and
So I
Paige
think,
is actually quite young, from what I remember.
yeah, she still is like she still is.
Yeah. I think she's quite. Yeah, she's early 30s. But um, I think Paige can come back when she wants.
Yeah,
Mm,
She just hasn't chosen to come back yet.
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I think she took time to like write her book and everything like that. I still need
Mm.
to listen to the audiobook actually. I was looking forward to listen to it. But yeah, she was mostly focused on that. Similar, funny enough, to what AJ done. AJ did her own, wrote her own novel. She was doing a bit of like TV work and everything like that before she came back. I think that's the same route that Paige is doing at the moment. She's focusing on other career choices in outside wrestling, and then she's gonna be ready to come back, I feel like.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
No, she'll be back.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll be we'll be saying it now. But yeah, what does this mean about the rivalry for Punk and AJ taking on Becky and Seth?
I think it'll last until Survivor Series, and then it'll go different ways from there.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
I think fans are burned out from Punk and Rollins. I think,
Mm,
what did he say? 18 months that they were at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a long time. It really
yeah,
is a long
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're not like wrapping it up quickly. I think they're just like tossing in a spanner in the works right now by seeing how the fans react. So at least it got them more involved and interested.
Yeah,
Because Punk and CM Punk's like Seth Rollins and Punk's rivalry was actually like brilliant. They actually know how to work with each other. But if you toss something to keep the fans included with this rivalry, that's exactly what they did with Becky and AJ. I
yeah,
think that's the whole reason they inserted Becky anywhere to keep an eye on the rivalry for the
yeah,
fans.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be good. I think we'll get a couple of months out of it. I think like we'll obviously get a tag match with the two versus the two, and I think obviously we'll get AJ versus Becky, and there'll be titles change, but I'm all for it. Like, I think they're sticking to something. It has dragged out quite a bit, but now it's kind of freshened up, obviously, with AJ Lee back.
Yeah.
Becky could have on her thing. And I'll be honest, guys, Becky's getting some pops at the moment. She really is getting pops wherever she goes. So she's obviously the informed female athlete at the moment when it comes to WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
definitely,
so too.
definitely.
I just feel bad for people like Lyra and Bailey, and these people are not getting focused.
Because
But the
I
time
will.
will come again. I think it'll come back around again.
Yeah, no, I can see Lyra Time definitely come back anyway again. But I can see I would like to see Bailey because Bailey always kind of like says at this point that she's going to be packing up soon, everything like that. I want to see her get at least a good run in
Yeah.
before she does anything like either leave WWE, pursue coaching. She even admits she actually said that before, or even move on to try out with AEW. I want to see WWE actually using her at least again, like.
Yeah, she's still one of the biggest products in the company. There's no doubt about it. Like what she's done these last couple of years has been incredible. But she's an absolute workhorse. We see Bailey, everywhere. She's always on the screen. I think the bizarre thing, and the biggest compliment is anytime that we do a media day, Bailey is always at that media day.
Yeah.
She loves to talk. She loves to represent the company. She's one of the best wrestlers for me I've ever seen in WWE. To me, and I'm going to say it right now, she's definitely top 5 of all time, and I could easily put her in that top 3 if I really thought about it. But yeah, Phil mentions Bailey, Lyra. The beauty with Lyra, she's done so much already. She's so young, and I think Lyra is the future. She's the girl that will step in, I suppose, when the likes of Charlotte and Becky and Bailey kind of step away. You're going to have, I suppose, Lyra, Bianca Belair, and like the likes of Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. They're the 4 people that people will talk about as the next generation, and the generation that'll be around for the next 10 to 15 years. But I won't worry about Lyra. She's still in the spotlight. She's still doing her thing, still winning matches. The stipulation where she can't challenge Becky is interesting, but that'll set up new storylines in time to come. But yeah, Lyra will be fine, and she is a future WWE champion.
It's always a weird time of year though for wrestling. I think September to Christmas.
Always up to that Rumble, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's after SummerSlam. I always feel like up to like Survivor Series, that's kind of like the slow moment in some way. As
It
in, like,
is.
yeah, because I feel like with Survivor Series, I said this before, because usually Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, those are the biggest 4 pay-per-views, but SummerSlam's always the 4th one. So maybe WWE's like saying, oh yeah, there's a big pay-per-view coming up, but they're taking their time kind of way. It wasn't, I felt like it won't take up pace until Christmas time at least. That's me saying it out loud because that's when the Royal Rumble will be coming up, and that's when like they need to
Yeah.
go full gear for it with WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny you mentioned about the next generation. Are you saying that we're gonna have the next generation of the 4 horsewomen that
Oh,
Bailey, yeah.
it's coming. It's coming soon, lads. It's coming soon. Like you look at Charlotte, Bailey, you know what I mean. You look at Sasha Banks and Becky. Like these girls have been around a long time, and they're still going to be around, But it's just, I think there's a transition coming where in the next 2 to 3 years, we're not going to see them as much as we have
Yeah.
these past couple of years. They're always going to be involved, but I think there's a certain period in wrestling where there's a transition. And for me, that bracket of 4 with that new transition has to be Lyra, Jade, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley. And you know what I mean? I'm actually forgetting people, but I'm not even mentioning the likes of Alexa Bliss.
There's a lot on
coming back.
there's a lot on NXT as well.
But I'm coming from that direction because AJ's been there before. Do you know what I mean? Rhea Ripley's a new kind of breed.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill's a new breed. Bianca's been there a while, but she's in that category. And Lyra is relatively new, but I think she's going to be in that bracket of 4. Like, as you say, Alexa Bliss has been there a long time. And you know what I mean? You have to look at it that way. But yet again, I think that the future of women's wrestling is safe. There's so much talent coming up through the ranks. And it's only a matter of time before we're saying, you know what I mean, that the likes of Anita Vaughn, Raven Creed, people like that will be the new generation of breed in 10 years' time. They'll peak. they'll be peaking in a couple of years next, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also like a few other women there as well from NXT, as we were saying. Like there's Jordy Grace, there's so many more of them down in NXT. Mariah May.
Funny. Yeah, it's kind of funny you mentioned about Anita Vaughn. If Anita Vaughn comes to WWE, is the women wrestling ready for pure violence, as she once says?
Yeah, she's destined. You know, I just know by looking at her alone. Like, you know, we've seen Anita's first match ever. We've seen all her matches, you know, in Cork. She was learning the ropes, you know, she always had a great vocal point. But I think the thing with Anita moving forward is that she is an absolute tank. She's so strong, so dedicated. She made a move to the UK, which is something that I definitely agree with. And there's been no looking back. She's gone from strength to strength. She's doing a lot of stuff with Safara Reed, and she's a big deal in Germany and the UK. You know, so we had her for a very short window in Ireland, in Cork, especially. But Anita Vaughn is someone that will do something big, and I'm okay with wherever she makes a move. If she goes to Japan, All Elite, you know, TNA, WWE, but personally, I'd love to see her in WWE. And I would not be surprised if that happens in the next 6 months. I would not be surprised if something's announced in the next week or two where she goes to NXT. She has everything. She has the look, the moves, the ability to be a champion. And I'm going to say right now, I reckon we'll see something in the next couple of weeks, but it's definitely going to happen in 2025, I believe.
Yeah, because I said this in the chat that, you know, I might be wrong, but there's actually a chance that the WWE callbacks might be actually happening this week. There's a few independent wrestlers I follow. Unfortunately, some, you know, didn't get the callback. It's upsetting to hear about those type of news, but at least they know that they actually tried, they actually put themselves up for it. So anyone who didn't get the callbacks, ye actually went far, and they probably don't notice. But yeah, it's like I'm really hoping to go on social media soon to see CBL, LJ, Anita. I think who else auditioned for? I think
Golden Boy Santos. You know, you have.
There's a load of them.
Yeah.
So many people. I really hope that I'm going to see that they're going to be confirmed to be with WWE and everything else like that. But yeah, no, it's like we're at that period where times are changing now in wrestling, that more people are getting more opportunities. Because I remember that you know, I remember when Celtic Championship Wrestling, and I remember the programs, they say you want to be a professional wrestler, and it was, gonna be honest, it was barely promoted, it was barely like seen, and you know, people, it's like, how are we supposed to be a wrestler? It's like a rare thing. Now with wrestling picking up, we have more people actually getting opportunities more. They go on social media.
Like even there now, yesterday or the day before, OTT were at Comic-Con again.
Yeah, which looked incredible. And a nice picture of Kurt Angle too.
Yeah. I was at OTT at Comic-Con back in Dublin, and you know, it's actually so class that people, I got the vibe, are not wrestling fans, but they love attending it just for the hell of it, like, kind of way.
Yeah.
It's kind of so class to see that went out in a broader range. Like, every time I talk this, I feel like just a flat out wrestling hipster. Somebody said, I even fucking got the glasses and shit, saying that I like wrestling before it was the cool thing, but that is the truth, though, guys.
Yeah, well, Joe Cabret has done an incredible job, and yet again, he flies that flag for Irish wrestling. You know, he's the definition of what it's all about. You know what I mean? The fact that he was actually over working with WWE, had he's I suppose had many options. He could have stayed there.
Yeah.
We all know he could have stayed there, but he wanted to come home and set up his own camp. We met him not long after he set up OTT, and I always remember the stuff he was planning. I always remember the stuff he said. If you look back, this is one of our first ever interviews. We actually went to Dublin, and everything he said that day, it's happened. You know what I mean? He had this vision, and you know, OTT is truly one of a kind. And I generally believe that there's a connection there between them and WWE, where they're in regular contact, and I suppose there's a lot of back and forth talk about, you know, wrestlers and who can we look at and stuff. And it's incredible, the fact we have this in this country, the fact that they set up show after show, They have a big tour coming all across Ireland throughout the next couple of months. Limerick in particular this September, I'm looking forward to attending, but it's incredible. It really is incredible, and you know what I mean? We've gone from strength to strength in this country, and I just can't wait to see what's around the corner. You know what I mean? But for every wrestling fan in this country right now, we've been absolutely spoiled
Yeah.
these last couple of years. And there's so many organizations right now in the country, you know, when it comes to OTT, No Limits, RCW in Cork, Hard Knocks in Limerick, Fight Factory, which is easily, like OTT, one of the biggest promotions in Europe. And it's great. It's great to have it, and we're lucky. And there's something every week now, which is good. You know what I mean? It's really good. And I think, you know, if I was someone living in Dublin, my weekends would be wrestling every weekend. You know, I really would.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because me and Phil said this actually just last week. Is like we encourage everyone to try and actually go to their local wrestling show.
Yeah.
Because like even if you prefer like nah, I prefer the big ones like WWE, AEW. It's like no, go to a wrestling independent show, buy a ticket. It's like gonna be like 20 quid, but that little money can actually get them get people involved, get people the wrestlers notice as well.
Yeah.
And I said this briefly. I prefer going to independent shows than a big show because to be honest, it's just great crack. To be
Yeah.
Also, as well, you get to see new wrestlers who you might not have seen before.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
So-
that. And obviously, look, I want to mention quickly, but sorry for cutting across, is the fact that when you're at a show like this, everybody is on the same page. I feel like I could walk around that room and talk to anybody. We're all like little kids that are in our 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s that just have this, you know, passion for wrestling. And you get on with everyone. You never see trouble. Everyone's on the same page. You know, everyone's buying the merch. Everyone's chatting. There's a great environment. We're all enjoying it. Like these wrestlers around the country are putting on, you know, incredible shows every week, every month, every year, and it's just unique. You know what I mean? You feel safe at these shows. You know, you feel like everyone kind of watches out for everyone in the sense of like, you know, we're all on the same page. And yeah, I think my only thought is I'd love to see food. I think I've mentioned this. I'd love to see like, you know, be able to buy nachos, hot dogs. Now in Dublin you can get that in the National Stadium, which is great, but in Cork I love if they had more like, as you suppose, more kind of options. You know, like, you know, you could get the nachos and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's really me being selfish though, because I like my food.
you are selfish, prick.
I also know, just because
Fuck you.
we don't have much long left, but I just want to bring up John Cena's last ever SmackDown match.
Which everyone's getting pissed off about.
Yeah, it was kind of unadvertised, to be honest. It was just came out of like on the Friday. Oh, he's fighting tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, they're just overreacting. You know, I was like, no, it's his last match. So yeah, his last match is him getting F5'd by Brock Lesnar for build up for a new pay-per-view by WWE called WrestlePalooza. As I'm going to be honest, when I see the name WrestlePalooza, it sounds like an independent wrestling name.
Well, it is because it's an ECW pay-per-view from '98.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Didn't know that.
I know my stuff with that stuff.
Phil fucking put me in my place.
I actually have the video of it over there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I think they had two WrestlePaloozas. I think there was 98 or 99 or 97, 98, one of those. But it's also as well WrestlePalooza as a shot at Tony Khan because Khan loves ECW. And
yeah.
Tony Khan is hosting a pay-per-view the same day as WWE, which is there. I don't think WCW and WWF never even did that.
Yeah, I know they were in competition with each other, but they actually would try and actually avoid dates.
Well, the AEW pay-per-view has been moved to earlier in the day, so they're not on at the same time.
Right. But yeah, Brock Lesnar's back for real this time to face John Cena WrestlePalooza. Yeah, Brock Lesnar came back. We won't get into it. We know that there's a bit of a problematic return, we would say. But what is this going to lead to with him and John Cena facing each other?
I think they're going to change the match to a last man standing match.
Think so, yeah?
Yeah, I can't see it being a one-on-one. I just can't.
Yeah.
It looks like that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it, to be honest.
when you say John Cena in a last man stand match, all I could think of is you know that match with the weird match he had with Batista, where
Oh
John
yeah,
Cena ended up duct taping his legs around the post and Batista couldn't get up to make the 5 count. I was like, why do I feel like that's gonna happen with Brock Lesnar? Cena's gonna cheat somehow.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it, John Cena after this has like 6 or 7 appearances left.
Mm, mm.
I'd be
Not a
interested to
lot.
see where it goes. Yeah, there's not a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just can think of like the possibilities of opponents John Cena can be wrestling, and he even admits that he can't wrestle everyone.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he's
I
gonna
was
fight
thought,
Dirty Dom at one point. I think he'll fight him.
do you think so? Do
Hmm.
you think who do you think should be Cena's last match? Do you think?
Brock.
Yeah, it won't be though.
No,
Hmm.
That's the
I
problem.
know,
Well,
I
no,
know.
not no, yeah, because they're fighting at this thing, yeah, but
Well,
Yeah,
I'd love it to be someone that he's fought like an Edge, and it's impossible. I know, but
I keep saying that it'd be class to have Edge coming back, like even if
yeah,
they work out a deal with AEW, or
yeah,
because you realize that Edge, oh wait, not Edge, Cope, we have to say Cope. Um, he's actually probably one of the higher up wrestlers that he'll actually put in some advice here and there with the board and all that kind of way. So
yeah,
because
and also as well, he's fought Randy Orton this year already, so they won't put it
yeah,
that way.
hmm.
it was a weird one with Truth coming in and all that. So it was like that's how they're gonna end it with Randy and Cena. Like
Yeah, I actually don't know who we'd fight. It'll probably be somebody like Gunter.
maybe. It's just
Be
that
interested to look back in 6 months and see what did we actually say and to what
yeah.
we got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what won't be forgettable. Like his heel run, John Cena's heel run.
incredible.
Yeah, we have to say that anyway. But yeah, speaking of returns and not so returns, we switch gears to AEW. That Bryan Danielson is officially going to be on the commentary team full time, which is out of the blue. I feel
Yeah.
like if he's actually retiring from the ring, Jerry, what's your thoughts on we're going to see Debray on the commentator desk?
Yeah, well, I asked Phil the other day. Is he? I think I said it in the group chat. Is he retired or
Well,
is?
the thing is, no one's ever really retired, but he is. He is retired for now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what's he done the last couple of months? I couldn't tell you, and that's crazy because he's one of the greatest of all time. But I'm all for him being in the commentary box. I think it's a positive step, positive move forward. The fact he's still involved is a good thing, and I just hope that Tony Khan starts to allow the wrestlers to do more stuff on the kind of independent circuit. If you get me, like
mm,
the way TNA allow wrestlers to do stuff. I just hope Tony Khan does allow like the likes of Daniel Bryan to make an appearance here and there, and same with Edge and all these guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm all for it. Interested to see how he gets on, and he might take to it like a dog takes to water.
Yeah, I want to see
yeah.
more wrestlers become commentator. I want to see them is on the commentary desk rather than see him in matches.
Yeah, because he has that voice forward, even as a ring announcer, even maybe even down that. Because
Yeah,
I know it's upsetting to see wrestlers actually no longer wrestling, but it's always nice to see them. They actually still have a huge role with the wrestling moves and all that kind of way.
Yeah,
Like Seth Rollins admitted that he's more closer to retiring than he was debuting in wrestling. He
yeah,
even said that he loves the idea of being a producer down the line.
yeah.
Same with
yeah.
AJ Styles. AJ wants to be a scouter. He actually said that he wants to go to independent shows and keep an eye out. So they
Ah,
always you have all these amazing wrestlers, but they're already planning what's next for them in all that kind of way.
I know
So
we only have like 2 minutes left, but there was two things I wanted to just end it on. I suppose.
farm where.
MGF has got married,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
which I didn't even know he was engaged.
yeah.
Mm.
Congratulations, you piece of shit. Everyone knows that.
And Chris Jericho put up something about contemplating.
What does that mean now?
Mm.
Yeah,
U-turn.
I don't know what that means.
U-turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Chris Jericho's doing the Sami Zayn, just leaving it a cryptic message, and it's literally going to be just a cryptic message
And
anyway.
then the last bit of thing that I kind of thought was frustrating, but Wade Barrett's been removed from the commentary desk.
But it turns out no, it was a load of bullshit. He just had holidays planned.
Yeah, but people tried to make it out that it was him saying something that he was taken out of context.
Yeah, it's
No,
kind of
no.
50-50. But yeah, that'll be more another the story to discuss down the line. Which was that thank you, Elizabeth, for tuning in to WrestleSlam. That is all the news we got right now. Things will change, as they always do. But Phil, Jerry, last word before we wrap.
Watch it. Watch AAA Friday. It's going to be a banger.
Jerry,
Yeah. And make sure that you all have a cup of tea tonight, guys.
have a cup of tea and whatnot. Treat yourself and leave a comment while you're at it because we're still waiting for that. All right, lads. Cheers for coming on. Cheers for watching. Flexing the legs.
See you soon.